Welcome back. Well, it was a nice one out there today. Some pretty cumulus and cumulonimbus clouds. Let's get over to the key wall and talk about this. We have towering cumulus as we look off to the east out across the Chaffalay Basin, and notice how dark the background is. That's a thunderstorm that is behind us this way, or no, actually it would be toward that way. That would be behind us, but you can see shadows across much of Lafayette. Here's downtown, here's the Cajun Dome, and again some cumulonimbus clouds, and occasionally we have a wasp or two or three that stop by the camera as well. So let's kick it over to the Doppler radar so you can see activity scattered across the region. It's a little bit more intense as we get over farther to the east, where we saw a little bit more in the way of thunderstorm activity, and this is what we have going right now. These are typical summer tropical showers and thunder showers, nothing severe, but they pop up. They drop very heavy rainfall, then they pop back down, and sometimes they do produce funnel clouds in this type of scenario, but haven't seen that nor gotten any reports. And we have isolated cells, one north of Crowley over toward the Iota area, and then the action that's been across Vermilion Parish has weakened a little bit, and then we have some stronger storm activity. This is what we were just shooting with our tower cam, and notice we have these outflow boundaries coming out from these storms that are moving toward Lafayette Parish. Now, if we have an existing shower or thunder shower here, which we do, south of Doosan and northeast of Doosan and just east of the Austin area, we could see a pretty hefty storm because it's like two waves crashing together, and you sometimes see that, and that makes for a stronger storm. So we'll keep an eye on the activity. Right now, expect scattered storms to last for several more hours across the region. Getting out into the tropics, some areas of interest, especially in the Atlantic Basin, where we're looking at one system that has a 50-50 chance of developing, but it's very poorly organized. Eventually, though, if this system develops, it stays in the Atlantic. We have Tropical Storm Dexter that's going to move out to sea, only 40-mile-per-hour winds. And then this area of disturbed weather has about a 40%, a medium percent chance of developing. There's a little bit of a frontal trough right here, or tropical trough. A weak low pressure could develop here. The National Hurricane Center thinks that this could become a depression, maybe drift to the west, and then eventually move to the north. And that's what our models are kind of showing here, watching the European model. Basically, very weak low pressure. You see Dexter here moving out to sea and becoming extra tropical. And then we'll keep an eye on some of the tropical moisture toward the eastern Gulf. That could work its way westward going into next week, eventually raising our rain chances, but it's not clear. That's that one disturbance that we said is going to go out in the Atlantic. May or may not do much, and maybe a little Fujiwara effect with the two systems out there. But of greater interest are the waves that have yet to come off the African coastline. This one right here and this one right here. That's 10 days out. And normally I don't show 10-day forecasts, but when you get a backup from, say, the Climate Prediction Center, they come out with their 2-week and 3-week outlooks. It's just the 2-week outlook. It comes out on Tuesdays, and they are going for a fairly significant chance of development on a system that will be approaching the Caribbean between August 13th and the 19th. So those are the systems we'll pay more attention to. Nothing threatening the Gulf anytime soon, but 2 or 3 weeks down the road could certainly be a different story. Scattered storms across the area. We're going to see it once again for tomorrow. Activity lasts through the late afternoon and diminishes during the evening hours, and then we do it all over again going into your Thursday with afternoon activity. As we get into the 10-day forecast, here we go with your rain chances: 30-40%, 20% on some days, 40% on others, but we stay in that range for better part of the next week. Eventually we see increasing rain chances, and for now we say sometime mid to late next week. That's it for weather for now. We'll have more coming up in just a little bit.